Michigan Out of Doors Magazine's OD is brought to you by Michigan United Conservation Clubs, protecting Michigan's rights to hunt, fish, and trap for 75 years. And by Williams Gun Sight. Located in Davison, Williams Gun Sight has Mid-Michigan's largest selection of used guns with over 2,000 in stock every day. Check out the website to view inventory and prices. And by MSU Federal Credit Union, helping members achieve their dreams since 1937.
Hi everybody. We just kind of wanted to update you on a couple of bills that are moving through the legislature right now and give you an idea as to how important these bills are for sportsmen and women in the state of Michigan and really what a big deal these are. This is really some of the biggest sportsman legislation that we have seen in this state, probably since 1996 in the battle over Proposal G. What these bills would do is, number one, it would share authority to list game species between the Natural Resources Commission and the legislature, meaning that either could do it. That's a huge deal because it means that we can have species listed as game and not have to be subject to out-of-state anti-hunting interests coming in and running tens of millions of dollars of a ballot campaign against it, that we have to fight there, and that the people are subject then to 30-second TV commercials that are absolutely emotional and hysterical. So that is a really big deal. What the bills also would do is they would provide outdoor and hunting opportunities for active duty military, and it would also put in state statute our right to hunt, fish, and trap, and it would be a way of the legislature to declare that hunting and fishing and trapping are a valued part of our culture and our heritage, and that they should be preserved for future generations. From the debates that we have seen on these bills over the last couple of weeks down here in Lansing, it's very clear that the battle lines have been drawn really between those who want the abilities to hunt, fish, and trap and those who do not. And what you're about to see here is sort of a good example of what we're up against. Some of the outside and inside interest groups that are coming together on these bills because they realize what it means for them and what it means for advancing the rights of hunting, fishing, and trapping in this state. We'll also catch up a little bit with DNR Wildlife Chief Russ Mason and get some of really his words of wisdom on this issue too.
To stop these bills now! Stop these bills now!
There's wolf hunts in our surrounding states, and the carnage pictures that are coming out of there is truly horrific. Wolf hunting is cruel, it's not scientifically based, and it's senseless.
The NRC is telling you one science. You guys want to make sure that you can refute that and take it away.
That's exactly what we're doing. And as it stands right now, the NRC, this bill they passed right now, is taking away the rights for any wildlife issue. We're not going to be able to vote for any wildlife issue in Michigan, not just the wolves.
You know, we want to talk about the will of the people. And science is treated differently in wildlife management. You know, if I came to you and I said, you know what, I figure building nuclear power plants out of Cheerios boxes is a good idea. Would you listen to me? I certainly hope not. We have in this state some wonderfully talented people that are well educated, that are on the ground, that have a fundamental and sound understanding of things. These are the people that I hope we will listen to as advisors as we make decisions in this state, as we would with any other kind of science.
They want to shoot your mourning doves for target practice and skin out the fragile, declining wolf population as trophies.
We need to keep this going because scientifically there's no basis for a wolf hunt. As you heard the expert just speak, the wolf expert.
It is absolutely within our heritage and within our culture to understand that we and wolves are cousins. We and wolves share an ancestor that would have lived a long time ago, 70 million years ago or so. But in that shared ancestry, what that means is that we have a number of traits and properties in common with wolves. The most important is that we are both experiencers of a life. We are both sentient creatures. We are both more than capable of experiencing emotions. We can experience the emotions of joy and fear and terror with the same intensity that a wolf can. And this is the kind of creature, like so many others, that you shouldn't kill without a very good reason. You have to have a very good reason to kill that kind of an animal.
There are plenty of hunters that sign the petition. There's plenty of hunters that are completely against this because there's no scientific data to support a wolf hunt. The numbers are already declining, and there's no scientific data to support a wolf hunt. It's a trophy hunt. There's no license to sell the fur. We don't eat them. It's strictly a trophy hunt.
Our wolf population most certainly is not on the decline. Our survey this year suggested that there might be 30 fewer wolves than the last time we looked 2 years ago. Of course, the variance is very large around that estimate, so no. If anything, our population is becoming relatively stable at this point. It could continue to grow, and folks that say, well, they're declining, we're talking about one data point. Anybody with, a rudimentary background in mathematics will realize you need at least 2 data points to draw a line. So no, they're not declining.
For Americans, wolves are a powerful, powerful symbol of nature. They're a symbol of many of the things that we fear about nature, and they're a symbol of many of the things that we adore about nature. And so I think there's good reason to believe that the fate of our relationship with nature is absolutely tied to how it is that we decide to treat wolves. We can't afford to screw this one up. We got to get it right.
North America has what's called the North American model of wildlife conservation. It's unique to America, basically. And it has never failed to both conserve and grow populations of animals, whether we're talking about elk or deer or turkeys or mourning doves or, pick a species. Any species of waterfowl, it has never failed. Not once, not anywhere, not ever in 120 years. If you look at the preservationist agenda, on the other hand, well, the record's a little bit more spotty. In fact, more things have come off the Endangered Species Act either because they were listed in error, folks that figured there weren't any and then they found some, or because they went extinct. Preservationism, protectionism actually is a very checkered past and is not necessarily the way to go. Wise use conservation, on the other hand, every single time it's been applied, has been effective, successful, and more often than not, we end up with more than we want of the species that are protected.
Believe it or not, there are some legislators in there right now who seem to think that while you may be smart enough to vote them into office, you can't quite be trusted with other important decisions, such as having a say as to which animals should be hunted and trapped in our state. They say those decisions should be left up to bureaucrats who are beholden to trophy hunting and trapping groups.
So the question is, do you really want your neighbor down the street or me making these wildlife decisions for you? And I can tell you right now, I'm not a scientist. I don't know all the information. I'm not comfortable making those decisions. So do you really want me doing that for you also? Or would you rather have folks that have the best biologists available to them in this state, the best, most recent data that we have in this state, making these important technical decisions on our wildlife? I know I, for one, would rather have people that know what they're talking about making those decisions than myself, for instance.
We very much, as Michigan Humane Society, oppose Senate Bill 288 and HB 4552. We stand in solidarity on these issues and will continue to encourage our membership as well as the other wonderful groups who are working hard against these bills. I'm just honored to be able to work with strong people with strong voices. I've already called my personal representatives, and I know you're going to do that today as well. So hang in, keep fighting on.
Hopefully you can see after that kind of what we're up against here. The battle lines are drawn. It is time to get involved. Again, these bills are some of the most important sportsmen's legislation that we've seen in this state for decades. So now is not the time to sit on the sideline. Please pick up the phone, open your email, make the call, or send that letter to your legislature. Let them know how important these bills are to you. You can also learn more and get information for contacting your legislator on MUCC.org. We will continue to keep you up to date, and please get active. Now is the time.